The Piper PA-31 Navajo is a family of cabin-class, twin-engined aircraft designed and built by Piper Aircraft for the general aviation market, most using Lycoming engines. It was also license-built in a number of Latin American countries. Targeted at small-scale cargo and feeder liner operations and the corporate market, the aircraft was a success. It continues to prove a popular choice, but due to greatly decreased demand across the general aviation sector in the 1980s, production of the PA-31 ceased in 1984. Design and development. At the request of company founder William T. Piper, Piper began development of a 6- to 8-seat twin-engined corporate and commuter transport aircraft in 1962 under the project name Inca. The type, now designated the PA-31 and looking like a scaled-up twin Comanche, was officially announced in late 1964 after its first flight on September 30 that year. It was a low-wing monoplane with a conventional tail, powered by two 310 HP Lycoming TI-0540A turbocharged engines in so-called Tiger Shark cowlings, a feature shared with the twin Comanche and also the PA-23 Aztec. As testing proceeded, two cabin windows were added to each side of the fuselage and the engines moved further forward. The PA-31, now named Navajo after a Native American tribe, was not certified by the Federal Aviation Administration until February 24, 1966, and deliveries did not begin until the following year, after the type was recertified in mid-1966 with an increase in maximum takeoff weight from 6,200 lb to 6,500 lb. The PA-31-300 was the next model, certified by the FAA in June 1967. This model was the only one of the PA-31 series not to have turbocharged engines. A pair of 300 HP Lycoming IO540 M1A5 engines were fitted to the PA-31-300, driving two-bladed propellers. Following the introduction of the PA-31-300, the turbocharged model began to be known unofficially as the PA-31-310. The PA-31-300 was only produced in 1968 and 1969 and had the smallest production total for any PA-31 series model, with only 14 aircraft built. Your next member of the family was also Piper's first pressurized aircraft, the PA-31P pressurized Navajo, certified in late 1969. Development of the PA-31P had begun in January 1966, before the FAA had awarded the PA-31 a type certificate. The PA-31P was powered by 425 HP Lycoming TIG-0541E engines and compared to earlier models had a longer nose, fewer and smaller windows, 25 AUSA fuel tanks in the engine nacelles and a one-piece Ester cabin entry door instead of the split pair of doors on the unpressurized models. MTOW was greatly increased at 7,800 lb. Also known unofficially as the PA-31P-425, the PA-31P was produced from 1970 to 1977. In 1971, Piper introduced improvements to the PA-31 model. The Navajo B featured air conditioning, increased baggage space achieved by the addition of storage lockers in the rear part of extended nacelles, a third door next to the cabin entry doors to facilitate the loading of baggage, and an optional separate door for the pilot to enter the cockpit. In September 1972, Piper unveiled the PA-31-350 Navajo Chieftain, a stretched version of the Navajo B with more powerful engines and counter-rotating propellers to prevent critical engine handling problems. The fuselage was lengthened by 2 FT0 in, allowing for up to 10 seats in total. Variants of the Lycoming TI-0540 developing 350 HP were fitted to the Chieftain, with an opposite rotation LTI-0540 installed on the right-hand wing. MTOW was increased to 7,000 lb. The Chieftain's introduction was delayed by a flood at Piper's factory at Lock Haven, Pennsylvania caused by Hurricane Agnes, and deliveries did not commence until 1973. In 1974, Piper used a Navajo B as the basis for developing a new model, the PA-31-325 Navajo CR. The Navajo CR had lower power versions of the counter-rotating engines of the Chieftain, rated at 325 HP. After certification of the PA-31-325 in May 1974, production commenced in the 1975 model year. The Navajo B was also superseded in the 1975 model year by the Navajo C version of the PA-31 model. Piper established its T-1000 airliner division in May 1981 at its Lakeland, Florida factory. There were two aircraft in the T-1000 series. The T-1020, or more accurately the PA-31-350 T-1020 was a PA-31-350 Chieftain optimized for and marketed for the commuter airline market. It featured reduced fuel capacity compared to the standard Chieftain, with the 40 gal auxiliary fuel tanks in each wing of the Chieftain not fitted to the T-1020. It also had reduced baggage capacity maximum instead of the Chieftain's 700 lb maximum, and up to 11 seats. The first T-1020 was delivered in December 1981. The second aircraft in the T-1000 stable was the T-1040 the PA-31 T3 model. The T-1040 was a hybrid, featuring the main fuselage of the PA-31-350 T-1020 with the nose and tail of the PA-31 T1 Cheyenne. The wings were similar to the Cheyenne I's, but with reduced fuel capacity and baggage lockers in the engine nacelles similar to those of the Chieftain. An optional underbelly cargo pod was also available. The Pratt & Whitney Canada .6A11 turboprop engines were the same as those of the Cheyenne I. Deliveries of the T-1040 began in July 1982. A T-1050 variant with a fuselage stretch of 11 aft-6N and seating capacity for 17 was proposed as a factory conversion of existing aircraft, but did not proceed. The last member of the PA-31 family to enter production was the PA-31 P-350 Majave. Like the T-1040, the Majave was a hybrid, but whereas the T-1040 was essentially a turboprop Chieftain, the Majave was more or less a piston-engined version of the Cheyenne. The Majave combined the fuselage of the Cheyenne I with the tail of the Chieftain. The wings were similar to the Chieftain's, but with greater structural strength, a 4 ft increase in wingspan and greater fuel capacity of 243 gal. The engines were slightly different variants of the Chieftain's TIO 540 and LTIO 540, being fitted with intercoolers, and like the Chieftain, had baggage lockers on the rear part of the nacelles. The Majave's MTOW of 7,200 lb was 200 lb higher than the Chieftain's. Certified in 1983, like the T-1020 and T-1040, the Majave was introduced at a time of economic recession and was produced only in 1983 and 1984. Combined production of the T-1020, T-1040 and Majave amounted to less than 100 aircraft. Two experimental PA-31-353 were also built in the mid-1980s. Licensed manufacture, the PA-31 series was manufactured under license in several countries from kits of parts supplied by Piper. Chinquil-Saccovi in Argentina assembled most of the series as the PA-31, PA-31-325, PA-31P and PA-31-350, and Aero Industrial Columbine SA in Colombia assembled PA-31. PA-31-325 and PA-31-350 aircraft. The PA-31-350 Chieftain was also assembled under license in Brazil by Embraer as the AIM-820C Navajo. In 1984, Embraer subsidiary company Industria Arona Utica Nava began converting Embraer AIM-820CS by installing Pratt & Whitney Canada .6 turboprop engines. Nava called the converted aircraft the Caraja. Variants: PA-31 Navajo, initial production version, also known unofficially as the PA-31-310. PA-31-300 Navajo, variant of the Navajo with normally aspirated engines. 14 built. PA-31 Navajo B marketing name for 1971 improved variant with 310 HP Lycoming TIO 540E turbocharged piston engines, new air conditioning and optional pilot access door and optional wide utility door. PA-31 Navajo C marketing name for 1974 improved variant with 310 HP Lycoming TIO 540A2C engines and other minor improvements. PA-31P pressurized Navajo, pressurized version of the PA-31 Navajo, powered by two 425 horsepower Lycoming TIG-0541E1A piston engines. PA-31-325 Navajo, referred to as the Navajo CR for counter-rotating. Variant of Navajo with counter-rotating engines introduced with the PA-31-350 Chieftain. 325 HP Lycoming TI-0540/LTI-0540 engines, PA-31-350 Chieftain, stretched version of the Navajo with more powerful 350 horsepower counter-rotating engines to eliminate critical engine issues. PA-31 P-350 Majave, piston-engined variant of the PA-31 Cheyenne I-50 aircraft built. PA-31-350 T-1020, also known as the T-1020 Patton 1020. Variant of the PA-31-350 Chieftain optimized for commuter airline use, with less baggage and fuel capacity and increased seating capacity. First flight September 25, 1981. 21 built. PA-31 T-3, also known as the T-1040 Patton 1040. Turboprop-powered airliner with fuselage of the PA-31-350 T-1020, and wings, tail and Pratt & Whitney Canada .6A11 engines of PA-31T Cheyenne. First flight July 17, 1981. 24 built. PA-31-353, experimental version of PA-31-350. 2 built. T-1050, unbuilt airliner variant with fuselage lengthened by 11 AFT6 and compared to the PA-31-350. AM-820C, version of Chieftain built under license by Embraer in Brazil. Nava Caraja turboprop conversion of AM-820C, fitted with two Pratt & Whitney Canada .6A27 engines flat rated to 550 shp. The Caraja SMTOW of 8,003 pounds was 1,000 pounds more than that of the Chieftain. Coal Panther, re-engined Navajo with 350 HP Lycoming TI-0540J2B engines, 4-blade Q-tip propellers and optional winglets. Conversion designed by Colmel Enterprises of Nashville, Tennessee. Operators, civil. The Navajo family is popular with their charter companies and small feeder airlines in many countries, and is also operated by private individuals and companies. Military, a Bahamas, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, a Finland, Finnish Air Force former operator, a France, French Navy former operator, a Honduras, Honduras Air Force, a Kenya, Kenya Air Force former operator, a Dominican Republic, Dominican Air Force, a Sweden, Royal Swedish Air Force, Royal Swedish Navy, a Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force former operator. Specifications. Data from Jane's All the World's Aircraft 1976 Euro 77, General Characteristics, Crew, 1 or 2, Capacity, 5 to 7 passengers, Length, 32 feet 7 1/2 in, Wingspan, 40 feet 8 in, Height, 13 feet 0 in, Wing area, 229 square feet, empty weight, 3,930 pounds, max takeoff weight, 6,500 pounds, power plant, TUA, Lycoming TI-0540A air-cooled 6-cylinder horizontally opposed piston engine, 310 horsepower each, propellers, 2 or 3 blade, metal, fully feathering, Hartzell propeller. Performance, never exceed speed, 236 knots, maximum speed, 227 knots, at 15,000 AFT, cruise speed, 207 knots, Econ cruise at 20,000 AFT, stall speed, 63.5 knots, flaps down, range, 1,011 mi, service ceiling, 26,300 feet, rate of climb, 1,445 feet per minute, see also. Related development, Piper PA-31T Cheyenne, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Beechcraft Queen Air, Cessna 402, Cessna 414, Aero Commander 500, references, notes. Bibliography, Barnett, Cliff. Piper Looks Ahead Flight International Magazine, September 24, 1983, pages 833 retrieved April 3, 2010. Bonelli, Regis and Pinheiro, Armando Castler. New export activities in Brazil, comparative advantage, policy or self-discovery, Research Network working paper of 551, Inter-American Development Bank, July 2008. Flight Magazine, Volume 54, Number 11, November 1965. Air Review Publishing Corporation, Dallas, Texas. Lambert, Mark. In the Air, Piper PA-30 Twin Comanche, Flight International Magazine, September 12, 1963, ppA 468 470. Levy, Howard. Piper Consolidates at Lakeland, Flight International Magazine, April 30, 1983, pages 1152 and 1153. Online archive version retrieved April 3, 2010. Marsh, David. Eurocontrol Trends in Air Traffic, Volume 1. Getting to the Point, Business Aviation in Europe, European Organization for the Safety of Air Navigation, May 2006. Retrieved April 11, 2010. Michael, Simon. Jane Civil and Military Aircraft Upgrades 1994 Euro 95. Coulston, UK, Jane's Information Group, 1994. ISBN 0-7106-1208-7. Piper Aircraft Incorporated. Customer Service Information File 2009 retrieved April 8, 2010. Piper Airplane Parts Catalog, PA-31 Navajo, PA-31-300 Navajo, PA-31-325 Navajo CR. September 10, 2009. Piper Aircraft Corporation, Manual Part Number 753-703, Piper Navajo Information Manual, Revision 9, March 18, 1994. Piper Aircraft Corporation, Manual Part Number 761-723, Piper Navajo Pilots Operating Manual, Revision 34, April 22, 2002. Piper Aircraft Corporation, Manual Part Number 761-456, Piper T-1020 Parts Catalog, Revision 10, September 10, 2009. Piper Aircraft Corporation, Manual Part Number 761-775, Taylor, John W. Jane's All the World's Aircraft 1976 Euro 77. London, Jane's Yearbooks, 1976, ISBN 0-354-00538-3. Taylor, John W. Jane's All the World's Aircraft 1982 Euro 83. London, Jane's Yearbooks, 1982, ISBN 0-7106-0748-2.